Hello and welcome to this episode of In the Spotlight. I'm Ayaz Memon and my guest this week is Madhur Bhandarkar, 3 times National Award winner. He's a dapper looking young man, only 42, somebody I know quite well for the last decade or so, and of course who's carved out a niche for himself in this obsessively competitive world of the Indian film industry. Welcome to the show, Madhur.
Thank you.
First things first, I must talk about your new film. A comedy this time, moving away from your hard realism, the comments on society that you make. Dil to bacha hai ji.
Dil to bacha hai ji. Yeah, exactly. See, as a filmmaker, I've always been inspired by work of Raj Khosla, Vijay Anand, and who always made contrast cinema. If Vijay Anand made Tisri Manzil, he made a guide also. If Tere Mere Sapne, he made a jewel thief also. So I think for me, I always had a flair of comedy. Always wanted to make a comedy for so many years, but only I didn't have the right time to make that film. Back-to-back film like Chandni Bar, Satta, Corporate, Page 3, it happened. But after one point, I thought, now let me take me a break and let me move out from my comfort zone. Yeah. And it was very challenging, very strong to come out something different than the regular Madhur Bhandarkar cinema, like comment on the society and realism and hard hitting. And when people say comedy, I would like to say it's a very realistic comedy.
Okay. So I'm not full of gags.
No, completely not. I'm not digressing. I'm not trying to be over the top in the film. It's completely in my parameter of cinema, which people are always looking forward for. And it is very Bashu Chatterjee or Rishikesh Mukherjee kind of film, which was in 70s, Baaton Baaton Mein, Choti Si Baat, in those genre of cinema. And very real. It's completely real. So I just felt that why not give a shot to a comedy, rom-com, and just show the aspect of that side also.
So, the names you've dropped, Basu Chatterjee or Vijay Anand, and obviously you've been a student of Indian cinema. You followed the careers of these directors, and you're setting new challenges for yourself. So are you, I know that you worked in a video library when you started out as a young man, and you've grown from this. Did you watch like 1,000 films?
I watched, you don't know how many films, I don't know myself. I have seen, as a young kid, when people used to watch film for entertainment, I used to watch film for technical reason, for performances, for the editing pattern, or a Raj Khosla's film, or a Guru Dutt's film, or a Manmohan Desai film. So I used to watch them so many times, again and again on the video cassette. So I used to look every aspect of it. I still got a habit of watching titles of all the movies. So for me, I watched so many of movies that time. And like always people say, Madhur is an encyclopedia of cinema. Like I know film which year it was released, what it was, So it has been a great knowledge of movies, which definitely collaborated into me to be a filmmaker.
So you've always been obsessed by cinema? Was that your calling, or you tried your hand at various things?
No. One thing, I don't belong to a film fraternity. I came from a typical middle class family in Mumbai, in Bandra. So I had to struggle a lot to be. I'm not an educated person. And in spite of that, I was an avid reader of books. So that's how I gained my knowledge. And then the time came where I felt that video cassette was my option, because we were going in a home, we came from like a very poor family, very middle class family. So I said, okay, I didn't have any option, so I started working in a very small age as a delivery boy to go to give video cassette to people. And that's how the obsession came to me to be a director, to be a filmmaker. And obviously when I expressed my thought with other people were very apprehensive. They said कि director बनना चाहता है. Director is like very intelligent person who has world knowledge.
Like the editor of a newspaper.
Completely. Then how can he become a director? So I was very apprehensive at the same time, but at the same time my knowledge was cinema. But see, it doesn't transport you. Being of knowledge of filmmaker doesn't transport you to be a filmmaker. But still, somewhere I started learning the elementary knowledge by joining some small-time directors over here, until I joined Mr. Ram Gopal Verma for a span of 3 to 4 years till Rangila. Then I ventured outside.
So, but tell me, the hardship level of getting a break, it is ultimately a competitive environment. And people have turf and they want to control turf. For a newcomer who wants to direct a film, is it very difficult? Do you have to be an insider? Because you are an outsider.
Very difficult. It is a task. And especially to get the first break, it's like you are putting your money, you're putting your money in a race course on a horse, you don't know the horse.
Yeah.
Okay, what breed it is and how he's going to perform or he's going to win the race or no. It's that difficult. And especially when the stakes are more over here, when you don't have a big actor to support you, where you don't have a godfather, you don't have anybody, people who are there, a father who's been in the industry and he has some leverage in the industry. In spite of that, to get that one break, it's very difficult. I got a first break, I struggled a lot to get the first break. But then obviously it became like that, the producers who wanted to make the movie with me, they said, listen, Mr. Bhandarkar, we don't want to make a message. We want a good entertainer project, a good entertaining project, which is very good, and you know, every element of the film should be very entertaining. After leaving Mr. Ram Gopal Verma, a span of 2 years came in between, where I didn't have a job. I didn't know how to do, because I left Verma and I opted for outside venture on my own. So it was very difficult to get the breaks, and I waited for 2 years, and there was no hero backing, no producer wants to make the kind of cinema which I want to make it. So I opted for this movie called Tri Shakti, which had an element of a girl in a bikini. We had Altaf Raja Qawwali, you had a fighting sequences, you had a dog in the film, and you had a chopper, helicopter in the climax. So in '99 it released. It took 2 years to make the movie because of the funds, because of the actors in the film was completely in the box office. It didn't have that kind of say which one should have. So it was completely, the whole movie just came and went. So after that disaster, it became more difficult. And then again the struggle started. Now the struggle started because earlier you were the assistant director.
Now you got a failure.
Now you're the failure to it. So now again you start going to the parties, interacting with people, and obviously I was not called for the parties. So I used to somewhere interact with small-time secretaries or small actors and try to barge in with them in these parties and to interact with actors and all. But it was a futile exercise. Because after one point, nobody wants to talk to you. I would go and approach a small actor to just say hello, forget narrating the story to him. So immediately that actor would be into animated conversation with somebody, and he would make me show, oh my God, see, I'm so busy and so don't disturb me.
So tell me, did that sense of, sort of a humiliation that you've got something to do and they're not even willing to listen, is that dictated your choice of going for movies without big star cast? I mean, you're not dependent on stars. You made your own genre of film. So is that something which was at the back of your mind, that it's something that you proved to yourself?
No sir, it was never like that. At that time I said, no, I'll make at least one movie with my conviction, my gut feeling. Even if that go wrong, it is okay, but it should be my baby, my gut. And that's how one day I was standing with my friend at Mahim, and we were just discussing of life. Especially he was into stock market and I was nobody. And I was just discussing about what happened, what to do in my life. And he said, come on, let's not discuss, let's chill out in a beer peete hum log. And he took me to a beer bar, which was ladies beer bar. I didn't know till the time I entered the bar. And I entered the bar and I was just shocked, aghast to see the whole ambience over there, to see all the girls dancing in chiffon sarees and gagra cholis and chudidar. So I said, where the hell you got me here? So, but the name we'll have a beer. And I was very embarrassed over there, sitting over there, because I just, somebody, known person will come to see me and they'll say, "Arey, picture flop ho gayi, to ye beoda ban gaya. He'll become a drunkard now." So he's trying to be like that. So I said, let's go from here. But somehow that night, that whole moment, when I came home, trust me, the whole music of that bar starting haunting me, playing me completely. And next day I told my friend, I said, yaar, can you take me to the bar again? The first question he asked me, koi ladki pasand hai kya wahan pe? So I said, nahi, aisa kuch nahi hai, I just want to visit.
So that is the genesis of Chandni Bar.
That's the genesis of the Chandni Bar.
But obviously you are a very perceptive individual. In terms of an urban scenario, a lot of your movies have to do with the grime and the grit and the fight of survival in the city.
Absolutely.
Chandni Bar, or Page 3, which is about the newspaper, corporate, fashion, which is a very glamour industry, but the grime behind the what you see in front. Now, is that something that you go out? I mean, you seem to be a nosy pugger. You're almost like a journalist.
Absolutely. And trust me, if I wouldn't be a filmmaker, I would be somewhere a journalist. I think so, because I got a great vision of observing things. I'm a great observer. I keep observing things, particularly human being traits. I keep interacting with people, and that can be people across all section.
Yes.
It is not particularly based. I can interact with a guy on the street also, a rickshaw guy. Yeah. That's how traffic signal came. Yes. Or a model in a fashion world or a corporate world. So for me, after Chandni Bar, I became the Madhur Bhandarkar.
Yes.
All of a sudden, the whole perspective changed completely overnight. Completely, I was really overwhelmed by the whole thing. Somewhere it kept me grounded. So the overnight, I was like, Madhur Bhandarkar. You won't believe I have to tell you this incident when there was a trial show of Chandni Bar and media was there, and obviously nobody even knowing me who the hell I am. And we kept a show for the bar girls. Tabu was there, I was there, and all people were going to see inside. A lot of media people were there, and I was like trying to portray myself. Please look at me, I'm the director of the film. Please look at me, I'm the director of the film. And like, yeah, it was like that. And trust me, you know what, I've seen this life, within 2.5 hours, your life changes.
Changes. Amazing.
It changes how you don't know. I mean, I remember it was some afternoon show, 1 o'clock. And till 3:30, I couldn't believe it, the life changed for me.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe that moment is a bigger moment than me in my life.
Correct.
It was completely, I was taken away. The media, everybody, Madhur, we want to interview, Madhur, how you made this film. So, how your life changes in just 3 hours.
But you're very grounded.
Completely.
The subjects you've chosen subsequently are also very thought-provoking. Yeah. And your own lifestyle, if I may say so, has not, you've not suddenly become a Hollywood prima donna.
No.
So, is that deliberated? Is that something to do with your, upbringing, the rootedness, that you've been through so much hardship to reach where you are?
I think, of course, the upbringing, because I've seen so much of humiliation and poverty in my life. Second, sir, in this industry, in this glamour industry, success is not permanent.
Yeah.
It is very temporary. Today I'm successful, I'm sitting in front of you, sir, giving you an interview. Yeah. But tomorrow, God forbid, if 4 film bombs of mine, I'll be nowhere. So I'm mentally prepared for it. Maybe Tri Shakti was that symptom of showing me the sign of, boss, this is reality, this is fantasy.
So don't get taken in by that.
I don't want to. Yeah. Because industry equation, your friends, your bouquets changes Friday to Fridays.
Yeah.
Completely.
On that very profound note, we'll take a short break, Madhur, but we'll come back and we'll talk about your major successes, but shortly after this break. Welcome back to In the Spotlight. My guest this week, Madhur Bhandarkar. He's got a string of fantastic films behind him. If you see his Page 3, very provocative film, which kind of raised a lot of hackles within the media. And of course, then there was Fashion, and there was Traffic Signal, which is your own, which you liked very much. Satta.
Yeah.
Now, Page 3, that really, kind of was a departure from Chandni Bar, and did you find a lot of people coming up to you after the movie and saying, "Ye kya aapne kiya hai?"
Yeah, a lot of people. In fact, Page 3, after Chandni Bar, I made Satta, which was highly critical acclaim about the world of politics, which I've shown.
Power, yes.
Power, it was completely different. And then Page 3 came to me. Page 3 also was somewhere reflection of my own character in terms of the humiliation in the field where I used to go in Page 3 and nobody used to recognize me. When after Chandni Bar, suddenly all invites started coming to me, people calling me, come for this party, come for this party. And people whom I have seen the celebrity on television or read about them, and suddenly I was interacting with them.
Yeah.
Suddenly I was interacting with them, and the whole equation changed.
Success has many fathers.
Completely. Failure is the orphan. Yeah. So I just felt it, my God, this is completely a different takeover for me. And every evening when I used to go to party, I was absolutely became the blue-eyed guy over there, attending parties, interacting with people, because I was myself enjoying. I'll be liar if I know I was not enjoying that whole adulation. People are clicking pictures. There was a time when still photographers used to tell me, "Oh, hero ke baaju mein khada hai. Chalo, chalo, baaju ho jao, baaju ho jao." And I was nobody. Yeah. So they used to tell me, "Please come aside." But now today they are making me pose, clicking pictures. So obviously I was enthralled with the whole euphoria over there. And one day I was in Renaissance, I remember, walking from, I was taking the car and going out. In Renaissance, if you come from out, it's a long drive. To come to the Larsen and Toubro, that area. So I saw some journalist walking aside me, and I just put my glass down. I asked, where you all going? So, no, we are not getting a taxi. We have to go out. So, transport. I dropped them to the taxi stand.
Correct.
And that night I realized how wide, how superficial is the pastry world.
Yeah.
Before that, some 10-12 cars passed, celebrities, people.
Yes.
Nobody will give them a lift. And they were the same journalists who were rubbing shoulder with all the top-notch inside.
Yeah.
So that's how the idea came to me. Yeah. I should make a movie on pastry world, especially from the journalist point of view.
Correct. So the shallowness of the whole pastry syndrome.
Yeah.
That's what you tried to highlight. That
completely.
This is a facade.
Completely facade. It's a very superficial.
Yeah.
It's a completely, I would say, debauch in some sense.
Yeah.
Completely different. And that's how I thought this is the script. And a lot of people then were apprehensive. Who the hell want to know a journalist story? Yeah. Because they said journalists, they don't sympathize what journalist is eating, or she has paid a ration bill or no, or she has got mobile bills or no. Nobody interested in journalists. You should make a point of view of a socialite or some businessman or somebody, very more glamorous.
More glamorous.
But I said no. Let me make former journalists, because journalists have access to meet people across everybody.
Yeah.
So I said this is absolutely apt for me to make a film like that from a journalist point of view.
So now tell me, were you in that frame of mind to go and puncture holes in, what was seen as people of very high stature or standing, like in corporate?
Yeah.
You bring out the hollowness of the whole corporate culture.
World, yeah.
And in fashion, what you see is not exactly what is really happening.
Yeah.
There is a whole drama of human emotions, deprivation being played out, even in the glamour world of fashion. So did you go deliberately with that kind of point of view? Because you had seen a lot of it.
I think definitely there is there. In pastry, if we talk about, definitely there was hollowness, there was void, which I said, and there's superficiality.
Yeah.
And I said again, it is about journalism. Yeah. About journalists, if you are at that particular time at that beat, you are a happening journalist, the people will approach you. The minute you leave the beat, people, definitely I came for research, I came to you also, I remember still, when you're working in Times. So I just felt it, the whole thing, pastry, but a lot of flags, and a lot of people said, oh, no, we don't agree with Madhur because he has shown everybody into a bad light, and he showed everybody is a hardcore party animal or this and that. But this is my take. Yeah. And you may agree with it, you may not agree with it. But I'm happy that at least the movie lingers in your mind. Yeah. When corporate today, when I look at myself, successful commercially, very well appreciated, lot of businessmen told me, Madhur, when we see corporate, we feel you shot the movie in a boardroom. Yeah. It was so accurate. I mean to see the trade, the language, the way we use all the things. And today, I am a Ahmedabad, corporate is a case study.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But they've called you and asked you to speak to students.
I have to do a speech over there. So what else I can ask for a person like me, who is a school dropout, who not studied, and going to go and interact with the students over there. I think it's a great high for me.
Now tell me, most of your films, I don't know about Dil, so, Mr. Bachcha ji, most of your films have been female or women oriented. Is that, deliberated or just happened because you wrote those stories like that?
I think I wrote the story.
The central characters would be women.
No, but you know what happens? Okay, a lot of films which I feel it's a woman protagonist would be definitely good to narrate a story.
No, but like Raj Khosla was very warm towards women, and so was Yash Chopra.
Yeah, completely.
So are you in that kind of genre?
I feel there are certain subjects, certain things which I think should come from women's point of view. Okay. Now, obviously, there would be a pastry journalist, can be man also.
Yeah, of course.
There can be a male model also in fashion or corporate world. There could be man also.
Yeah.
But I feel there are certain films in a society where you have to make a point of view. I think women definitely have more weightage. Yeah. And I'm comfortable in expressing that.
And sketching out their character.
Sketching a lot the character, and in a very accurate manner. And I feel, and I'm being successful for that.
Yeah. Tabu for Chandni Bar, initially it seemed a little odd. Yeah. Because she's not a dancing kind of an actress. But when you see the film, she's stunning.
She's stunning. She's brilliant. She's flawless.
Yeah.
I think Tabu is I always say, Tabu always says in the media also, she said, Madhur Bhandarkar ko maine discover kiya. Definitely after Disaster Sri Shakti, I still remember when I went to narrate the script to her and she liked it very much. And I'm happy she did the film because the whole Chandni Bar took the film to another level, and her performance definitely.
Now, Kareena. What's happening with heroin?
Heroin
Much
right
talked
now,
about.
I know, much talked about, much hyped about,
Yeah.
and there's no interview without talking about the movie Heroin. I think at this...
it's about dates, or is there something else?
No, it's nothing about dates. See, I was busy right now with Dil To Bachcha Ji from last 4 months. She was busy with her assignments, doing other 2-3 films with Saif and Shah Rukh's film she was busy with. So we didn't got a time to interact with each other. But then Heroin became so much of media buzzing every day.
Yeah.
So I just felt it right now I should drop Heroin. So now the status quo of Heroin has been, it is shelved.
Yeah.
I don't want to make Heroin right now.
Oh, okay. It's shelved. Yeah.
I don't want to make right now Heroin. Because every day I have to dismiss 3-4 rumors every day.
Yeah.
So I think it's better right now, so I have shelved the film.
You seem to have a knack of, kind of tackling and pinning down on idiosyncrasies, human nature. You seem to understand well.
I'm a person who, I struggled a lot. I've been a salesman of video cassette, so I know people, across people I should give, sir, this is a very video cassette, achhi dekh lo na picture. It's a nice picture. So across people in society I should give cassettes. And I observe. I'm basically a hardcore observer.
Okay. Now you made a lot of films which, kind of not only created ripples, it kind of created a bit of a controversy, whatever else. Your own life was also touched with a little controversy.
Yeah,
Do you think that was a kind of a, effect of fame which came, so somebody wants to...
I think so, definitely. And I'm a person who will fight back. I'm a person who, you accuse me, you try to humiliate me, but I'm not...
That was a pretty serious charge in that
Yeah,
film.
yeah, absolutely. But I
forget the lady's name, some Jen.
Yeah, of course. But I really put a brave front of it. And I'm still today fighting about it.
I know.
And I will fight about it.
But it may have come as a somebody is accusing you of rape and
It is came, but so definitely thanks to all the support I got from people, girls, everybody who are there for me, the media people, everybody. And definitely I said, see, the problem is what, sir? It is very easy to accuse somebody in this country today. I can just say, okay, he's an underworld guy. Now you have to prove yourself you're not an underworld guy. So but it made me stronger as a person. I got more aware of it in my life. And definitely as a person, I became very strong.
Now, Madhur Bhandarkar has tasted a lot of success, making the kind of films which have become a defining character for Madhur. Now you're making a comedy. So obviously you want to expand your repertoire.
Horizons,
and horizons. But with success also comes this comfort zone, as you talk about. So why should I make another page 3 or a fashion? And I have made my point, now I must play the more secure role. Is that
no,
always
never,
going to be a little different?
I always say I'm an experimental filmmaker who I'm lucky to make film get commercial success. I experiment with the film.
So now, do you have aspirations for, seems to be the craze amongst Indian filmmakers, Oscar chahiye? Ek Oscar jeetna hai. Do you also aspire for something like this?
No, I don't think so. See, the problem is what? People who think we make a film like that in such a manner we'll get it to the Oscar, they are staying in the fool paradise. It's a wrong notion.
Achha, why
the wrong
do you say
notion.
That?
Because you can't make a custom-made film and send it to Oscar. You can't make it like that. You have to just make film with a conviction. It works, it works. It doesn't work, doesn't work. But you can't cut out a film, okay, I'm making this film specially for Oscar. So you're designing a film like that, I think he's taking the full paradise. You won't get it.
Okay. So Madhur, very quickly, now, your period of struggle is over. You've come the hard way, you've come up, you made hugely successful films, you made a decent amount of money, you made a huge amount of name and fame, whatever else. Where do you see yourself going from here? Is there, obviously you're a creative person.
No, it's very difficult for me to gauge. You know what? I want to live the way every day comes to me.
Live for the moment.
Yeah, and just flow with the stream. I don't want to be in a fool's paradise where thinking after 10 years, you will see me Madhur Bhandarkar here or I'm going to make this cinema. Because, sir, this line is very insecure line. Today's success is there tomorrow. See, 10 years back, I was a person who was standing outside a bus stop for a bus to arrive, and I would ask somebody 100 rupees to drop me to a juice stall or Warsaw area. And suddenly one day after Chandni success, I was standing outside Abdul Kalam Saab's President of India. He's giving me the National Award. For me, I'm a very optimistic person. But still, I don't want to predict that 10 years down, you will see me here and here. No. Because industry is today. Because the industry is like this is the only place, if your film doesn't go well, you have been publicly humiliated. If tomorrow you change your job or my corporate guy next to my building changes the job, I won't be bothered. But if my film doesn't go well, so you are being humiliated in the public. Even the panwala will tell me tomorrow, sir, kya aapne picture bekar banaya? So this is public humiliation. So I don't want to be in that imagination. My God, after 10 years you may see me here. No.
Not in Fool's Paradise.
Not in Fool's Paradise. Let me just go with the flow.
So you become a hard-nosed realist, which you have been.
Yeah.
Because that's the way you were. You've seen life come up and you've tasted success, not letting it sway your head. I wish you a lot of success for your new movie and for the future, Madhur. And thank you so much for talking to Newsx and in the spotlight. Thank you.